Upon completion of this module, you will be able to differentiate between frontlist products and better understand student challenges. The psychological statistics course is taken by about 120,000 sophomore and junior level students at both 2 and 4-year schools. Like the research methods market, you'll see both brief and competitive books in varying levels used. Individual choice and committee decisions may also include the use of statistical software, study guides, or lab manuals. Student challenges in statistics are going to sound really familiar, starting with math anxiety. Students don't understand how statistics has any relevance to other psychology courses or everyday life, not to mention the need to learn new statistical software. Finally, students often struggle because they don't take their statistics course close enough to research methods, and that prevents them from seeing the whole picture.
You know it, and the market knows it. Sage is a powerhouse in statistics, and this fall is a perfect example of how much Sage has to offer. In addition to our recent backlist titles, we're adding the new edition of Takanaga Fundamental Statistics for Social and Behavioral Sciences. For the fourth quarter, you have the second edition of Gregory Privitera's Essential Statistics book. Both of Privitera's statistics books are our mainstream answer to the market-leading books by Graviter. In both versions of his text, Privitera answers the needs of students across a range of levels. Privitera shows students that statistics can be understandable and relevant to their daily lives. In addition, he supports writing and presenting statistical research and the use of SPSS. Privitera provides students plenty of opportunities for practice and support to feel confident as they learn. With support for the toughest concepts built right where it matters most within the chapters, making sense sections break down the statistical concepts students typically find most challenging. Privitera also includes excellent end-of-chapter practice and learning tools organized by learning objective. For example, end-of-chapter summaries are tied to learning objectives for tighter practice and retention. End-of-chapter problems allow students to practice the concepts from the chapter. Factual problems offer additional basic knowledge check practice, and concept and application problems offer students the opportunity to interact with data. Problems in research offer real-world scenarios for students to apply what they've learned by interacting with data and employing critical thinking skills in action while learning. One question you could ask on campus is, how do you have students interact with data in your course? These end-of-chapter practice problems allow instructors to easily identify and specifically test the type of knowledge that they want to assess, and allows their students to practice applying the concepts. Privitera uses chapter opening vignettes to help students connect statistics to their own lives, acting as word problems to breathe life and a rich picture around concepts. These are designed to engage students at the start of the chapter. APA in focus boxes explain how to summarize statistical results and how to read and report results in research articles that follow APA style. As you know, many statistics courses use some type of software like SPSS, R, SAS, or Stata. Privitera's SPSS in focus sections provide step-by-step instructions and examples of how chapter concepts can be applied using SPSS. For more practice opportunities, promote the Student Study Guide. For instructors who are looking for a solution to help manage homework, you have WebAssign. The new edition of WebAssign has 55 new algorithmic exercises. This is homework that aligns with end-of-chapter content. Remember to include bundling in your fall selling strategy. In addition to the study guide and WebAssign, you also have Privitera's In-Focus guide that supports the use of R, SAS, or Stata. The Essentials market spans the level spectrum. You have a few open spaces due to dated content in Nolan, Hyman, and Aaron. If you come across any Thorn users, it's important to note that this book is dated and only available online. With the new edition of Graviter out, users may be open to considering something new. Overall, many of these competitors are dated, and with competitive reps not calling on this course, you have a great opportunity to grow your business. Because many decisions are individual choice and new instructors teach this course every semester, that means new opportunities for you.
This fall, we'll publish the second edition of Howard Tokunaga's Fundamental Statistics for the Social and Behavioral Sciences. Howard Tokunaga teaches out of the Department of Psychology at San Jose State University, but his book includes a wealth of examples from both the social and behavioral sciences, making this a cross-disciplinary text. It's a comprehensive text that focuses on helping students achieve a more conceptual understanding of statistics. This edition offers Sage Edge resources, including SPSS datasets and a course cartridge. Among the features that made the first edition of Tokunaga successful is the use of real research studies throughout the text. Many statistics books include hypothetical examples. Tokunaga, however, elected to include published research to help students see the relevance of statistics to their lives. In this example, the text presents data from a published study to estimate the annual salary of a population of industrial organizational psychologists. With his conceptual approach to statistics, Tokunaga excels at explaining the meaning behind the numbers that make up statistical formulas. In this example, Tokunaga summarizes the strengths and weaknesses of the mode, median, and mean to give students a better understanding of when to use a particular measure and help them understand how the numbers relate to the bigger picture. You'll also find coverage of software in the text. Tokunaga includes SPSS coverage at the end of chapters, as well as answers to the learning checks that appear throughout each chapter. If instructors don't use SPSS in their course, they can definitely use Tokunaga and just skip the end of chapter SPSS presentations. To find your Tokunaga targets, keep an eye out for these market spotters, who tend to take a more conceptual approach to stats and look at the meaning behind statistical formulas. When you run into Graviter, and we know you will, keep Tokunaga in mind, but lead with Privaterra, which is more closely aligned with the Graviter approach. Let's talk a little bit more about Tokunaga and Privaterra, since both authors teach out of the Department of Psychology. Tokunaga's inclusion of cross-disciplinary examples make his text a fit for both the social and behavioral sciences, while Privaterra focuses on psychology-specific examples in both of his texts. Privaterra presents more detailed explanations of concepts and looks at a broader range of topics versus Tokunaga. Essentially, Tokunaga keeps the discussion more conceptual, delving into the meaning behind statistical formulas, while Privaterra is more granular approach and looks at what you can do with the numbers. You'll find more pedagogy in both versions of Privaterra's books. SPSS coverage is also a key differentiator for these two texts, with Privaterra having fully integrated coverage of the software, while Tokunaga has coverage of SPSS at the end of chapters. Sage Edge accompanies the Tokunaga text along with a course cartridge and SPSS datasets. Privaterra will have a course pack, a WebAssign option, a study guide written by a Greg, and in-focus guides. This visual landscape presents another way to see the difference in the depth and breadth of coverage of Tokunaga versus the Privaterra books. For your fall sales strategy, you'll be able to use our new digital intro stats tool to help you find the best opportunities for Tokunaga. You'll have the ability to filter this spreadsheet in the best ways that work for you. Before you start any intro stats call, consider the department you're in and collect any market spotter information that's available. Use the guiding questions within each column to help you assess the best book to lead with. Questions about preferred depth and breadth of coverage, software use, and online resources are vital in your calls. And use the Advantage/Benefits column for quick overviews of the texts. Make it your goal to show the text TOC in a call and be ready to present the next best alternative if the first one doesn't resonate. In the case of Tokunaga, asking if the instructor is interested in a more conceptual approach to statistics is key. For advanced stats selling, use standard desired state questions like, what are your biggest pain points in the course? What would make your current book better? And what does your ideal intro stats text look like? And remember, if instructors are interested in Tokunaga but need more coverage of SPSS, we have a variety of software guides, including the new edition of James Aldrich's text, which publishes this September. For additional exercises and a hands-on look at stats, we have the Evergreen Supplement Stat Lab, an online program that allows students to gather and analyze their own data using statistical techniques. Thanks for listening, and good luck selling Fundamental Statistics for the Social and Behavioral Sciences, second edition, this fall.
Have you heard the one about the statistician who had his head in the oven and his feet in a bucket of ice? When asked how he felt, he replied, "On average, I feel just fine."